Hey team, we had a beautiful day yesterday for this Monday morning stamp patio pour, and we got a new pumper on board for this one. This was Dennis at DenCan Concrete Pumping, and Dennis was an employee of a company we used to use religiously called K5 Concrete Pumping and Conveying. They had all sorts of equipment, and they've since disbanded, but Dennis has found himself one of the old line pumps. It's a truck-mounted line pump, so there's no trailer. It's very convenient, and he's branched out on his own. So this is the first time using Dennis, and he does a great job. If you guys need a pumper in the Calgary area, hit up DenCan. Anyway, so we started pouring this patio from the west to the east, which is a little awkward and weird, and I get lots of questions, but that's the direction that the sun comes up. So we start on the outside and work our way in, because when the sun comes over that house, it's going to start right on that edge, and that's where we got to start stamping. So it only makes sense to work our way in, even though it just goes against all the kind of basic rules of concrete pumping. You usually pump your way out. There's Carson. He's spraying a product called ProFinish, made by Proline, same guys that make the stamps, and it's a densifier and also a finishing aid. So concrete is different these days. It sets up very fast and it needs a little help. The suppliers are good, but the mixes are constantly changing. So to consolidate that surface, you really you need to use chemicals to fight chemicals, and you can't just use water. Water will dilute the surface and make it weaker. You're going to have problems later. So that it also buys you time if it's windy or sunny. But we poured this stuff a little dry. We poured it at about a 110 or just over a 4-inch slump. So we had color in there, and we knew the sun was coming. So we hit it with that ProFinish, and that bought us some time. Carson doing a couple touch-ups with the Cadillac slicker. And then we jumped on it to do our spin float finish or our sweat finish. And you can see that most of that finish disappears. It gets stamped right out. The only times you have problem is when you're late to the party and you're not getting as much of an impression as you'd like with the stamps, then a lot of that fuzz is going to stay on there. And it looks great. Like it mimics the wood grain. Like I said, most of it comes out, but whatever's left on there just looks like part of the wood, and it leaves an amazing grippy surface. So as you can see, we're just chasing that shadow. We're working our way along. We're randomizing it. You can see we did 16-inch rows, and then about every fourth row we did a 12-inch row, and then we're also working in some of those 8-inch wide stamps there. We got some 4-foot and 8-foot lengths of those. And it was an easy day. We started pouring at 8:30, and we were out of there by about 12:30. Have a great day, guys. We're off to go